Good afternoon, everyone. So pleased you could be here, and welcome to the 7th Annual State of the City. This is our 7th Annual State of the City, and it is great to see how far this event has come. Back in 2008, when the city of Goleta was 6 years old, the city and the Chamber collaborated to put on the very first State of the City. With 200 people in attendance, the room was overflowing at what was then the Holiday Inn and now the Kimpton Goodland Hotel. I love that name, by the way, the Goodland Hotel. We then moved to the Elks Lodge, which was one of the only venues that could hold us, and the event continued to grow to 350 attendees, outgrowing that space as well. Today, we're at the beautiful Bacara Resort and Spa, and isn't it beautiful? Yeah. With our most gracious host, Bacara, and we are nearly 400 people here today. Yeah. Needless to say, we are very excited about the growth of the annual State of the City. Thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of this event. At this time, I would like to introduce Goleta Teen of the Year, Madeline Mathis. Maddie is a senior at Dos Pueblos High School and is graduating this year. She will be attending Duke University in the fall to study biochemistry and will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Maddie.
Please salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie, and congratulations. Now I would like to introduce the one, the only, the incomparable Kristen Miller, President and CEO of the Goleta Valley Chamber of Commerce. Please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you, thank you. That's a nice way to be welcomed. Well, I too want to welcome you here to this event. It is a special time in the city of Goleta and in our communities. We're here today to look forward, to look back, and most importantly, to recognize that we are a community, that our work together, our care for one another, and our pride in our accomplishments lifts us all up. Many, many businesses in Goleta are proud members of the Goleta Chamber of Commerce and are part of our community's success. I'd like to recognize our top 3 sponsors, starting with the incomparable Kathleen Cochran from Bacara. Come on up. Sure. It's a good way to do it.
All right. Well, welcome. And I just want to say to all of you, thank you. Thank you for helping to rebuild Bacara. Thank you for, many of you, for helping us through 2 owner transitions in 24 months. Thank you for walking through our front doors with your spouse, with your family, with your meeting, with your corporate business. And you have really helped us to accomplish 2013 as being the best year ever. And so our owners are able to put some money back into the property, and so we could not have done that without all of you. So thank you, and the best is yet to come.
And from Bynec Favre Archibald Spray, Trevor Large.
Thank you, and bear with me, I'm losing my voice a little bit. On behalf of the attorneys at Binack Favre, Archibald, and Spray, it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to such a strong community of leaders. In both good times and in bad, Goleta is a community that inspires and supports one another. And this is true when it comes to business as well. Both the chamber and the elected officials understand the benefits of a vibrant business community. Traditionally, this has meant supporting established businesses and helping them grow and prosper. And there's no question Goleta has been successful at that, given its 2.6 unemployment rate. Now, the community is looking to do even more. Through programs like UCSB's Technology Management Program and the birth of GEM, Goleta's entrepreneurial magnet, Goleta is now fostering emerging businesses and making sure that the new ideas that are born here stay here. This breadth of support helps to ensure that Goleta as a business hub will be as bright in the future as it is today. Binack Favre, Archibald, and Spray attorneys enjoy partnering with our business clients, helping them build their foundations and advance their successes. And because of this shared philosophy with the Chamber, we're proud to have the opportunity to support this event, highlighting our community's success. Thanks very much.
And last but never least, Michael Tobes of the Tobes Group.
Thank you, Kristen, and congratulations to the City of Goleta for the 7th annual State of the City event. This event just gets bigger and better every year, and you're to be congratulated on the great job that the community is doing in so many ways. It's a pleasure for the Tobes Group to be as involved in Goleta as we have been over the years. We started Willow Springs Apartments the week that the city was incorporated, and we have continued to develop in the community since then. We're just finishing our 5th project in Goleta in the 12 years since its incorporation, and we have enjoyed working in the community. It's a great place to work, a great place to live, and you should be all very proud of what you've done to turn this city into such a great place. We're very pleased to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much to those sponsors and to many, many more. As I read our corporate sponsors, I'd like a representative from each of those businesses to please stand, and we'll hold our applause to the end. I'd like to thank Marburg Industries, the Bank of Santa Barbara, Venico Inc., Cabrillo Business Park, ATK Space Systems, City Ventures, Fleer Commercial Vision Systems, Goleta Valley Cottage Hospital, Montecito Bank and Trust, Hollister Village, the Cuvion family, Armstrong Associates, Camino Real Marketplace, Southern California Edison, Village Properties, and University of California, Santa Barbara. Thank you. If we may do the same thing for our supporting sponsors, who include Bartlett Pringle and Wolf, Brownstein Hyatt Farber Schreck, Citrix Online, Community West Bank, Courtyard Marriott Goleta Santa Barbara, Cox, Hayes Commercial Real Estate, Heritage Oaks Bank, Impulse Advanced Communications, Latitude 34 Technologies, Marmalade Cafe, Newshawk, Pacific Coast Business Times, ParrotClick.com, Radius Group Commercial Real Estate, Santa Barbara Airport, Santa Barbara Association of Realtors, Santa Barbara Independent, Spherion, TV Santa Barbara, Union Bank, and Wilson Printing. Thank you. This is your city, your chamber, your business community. Thank you so much. A special shout out as well to 5 Star Audio Visual, if you can hear and see me, Linda Blue Photography for taking wonderful photos, New Image Ad Group for our beautiful signage, and Synergy Computing. Can we thank them? We are very blessed to have many elected officials with us in the room today, particularly featuring our Goleta City Council. If they would please stand, Goleta Mayor Michael T. Bennett, and you can clap for them. They work very hard. Mayor Pro Tem Paula Perotti, Council Member Roger Aceves, and Council Member Jim Farr. Somebody's missing. You may have noticed we have a vacancy on the council right now. They are taking applications. If you are interested, please see me afterwards. No. But you can apply on the city's website. I'd also like to recognize our 2nd District Supervisor, Ms. Janet Wolf. From the 3rd District Supervisor, Doreen Farr's office, Chris Henson. And 3 members of our Goleta Union School Board, Luz Reyes-Martin, Valerie Kushneroff, and Yvonne DeGraw. From Goleta West Sanitary District, Craig Geyer, and Eva Turanchalk. And from the Santa Barbara City Council, Greg Hart. It has been an important year for our city and our business community. Our continued cooperation between the city and the Chamber of Commerce has brought us many milestones and an invigorated sense of momentum as we continue to nurture the growth of our city government, now 12 years old, to nourish and grow our local economy and jobs after the recession, and round out the edges of our economic development plans, both with GEM, the Goleta Entrepreneurial Magnet, and in the area of tourism and visitor services. New support from the city for our local tourism economy is leading the way for marketing information for visitors and a branding study for Goleta. The 2014 Goleta magazine, which you have on your tables today, features a local business, a nonprofit in our community, and a new focus on ecotourism that just may be a key piece of our future. The centerpieces today are live plants, representing this focus and the loving care that our environment needs. We ask that you take these home with you today, and if you wish, plant it in memory of the tragic events for our neighbors in Isla Vista. Grow it with the optimism and hope that our community is known for. With that, the moment we have all been waiting for, I would like to introduce Mayor Michael T. Bennett to start our program. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. I'd like to start off our meeting today with a moment of silence and remembering our neighbors who went through such a tragic event this last Friday evening. So could we please take that moment of silence now? Thank you. Now let's move on. Transition. I want to thank the Chamber once again for hosting this fine event. And I'm honored to be here as mayor because in 2008, which has already been mentioned, we had the first State of the City, which for us was well attended, and we certainly didn't know how it would be well received. But you're a testament to that today at our 400 guests enjoying what it is that we have to say. So thank you again for being here, and you deserve a round of applause. Goleta is a city in transition. For some, this could be negative, but I believe it provides the chance to dream about what can be and who will help lead us as we seek to accomplish our goals. It gives us the freedom to uncover the potential for something even better. As Goleta goes through this process of hiring a new city manager, a new finance director, a new public works director, and appointing a new council member, we are embracing change. We see this time as an opportunity to reflect on the countless accomplishments that have characterized our past and look forward to our promising future. Now let's talk a little bit about our accomplishments. Our city is on sound financial footing, and we are proud of what we've been able to do in the last 12 years. Our staff is committed to good work on behalf of the community. Our businesses are flourishing. Goleta's unemployment rate is just 2.6%, as was previously stated. That's a fact, something to be very proud of. And our community members are actively engaged in their neighborhoods and workplaces. And we've established a recreation commission. We've helped fund the ice rink that will be built near Gersh Park, and that'll be arriving very soon. We've made huge strides in public outreach, winning awards for our efforts. Most notably, our public information officer was named Communicator of the Year by the Public Information Officials Association. Quite an honor. She'll get a little more recognition later on. A number of capital improvements have been completed, and the city continues to plan a very ambitious program of work. We're proud of the completion of the first phase of the San Jose Creek project and the pedestrian improvements on Patterson Avenue and Cathedral Oaks, which again you're going to hear more about. Our staff has done an outstanding job in securing grant funding that allows us to stretch our limited dollars even further than what they represent. A number of developments have advanced this year, meeting the need for additional affordable and rental housing. We're also looking forward to a new hotel and a brand new upgraded hospital facility that will open early next year. We're having a guiding document in our strategic plan, which the council approved this last summer. It has 6 core areas of focus, which are preserve and enhance the quality of life, which we all enjoy in our community and is so special. Ensure financial stability, support economic vitality, strengthen infrastructure, return Old Town to be the vital center of our city, and maintain a safe community. This plan will guide us as we move into our next phase of cityhood. We couldn't ask for a better time and environment in which to transition. Now let's talk a little bit about finances. Central to our organization is the ability to manage our resources wisely and with the understanding that these are not our dollars, but your dollars, and the community's dollars as the taxpayers. The council has always been committed to careful spending, and this year is no different. As stewards of the public's trust and tax dollars, we are proud to report our finances are stable and have been increasing, and we have healthy reserves. Our revenues for fiscal year 2013-14 are exceeding our expectations. In our third quarter budget report just 2 weeks ago, we were able to increase our total revenues to $24.2 million, and we will make appropriate adjustments to next year's projection in our budget meeting next month. We see this as an indicator of the ongoing health in our community. Historically, we've seen our revenues grow, except, of course, during the recession. You'll recall that on July 1st, 2012, the city received a large revenue increase because we no longer had to give of our transient occupancy tax, and our sales tax giveaway was reduced from 50 to 30%. This provided an extra boost to the tune of about $2.7 million, which we put to work. Speaking of revenue, over $5 million in property tax and sales tax are generated each year in the city of Goleta that still go to the county through the revenue neutrality agreement. And as we continue to be a healthy city, they will continue to grow with that agreement. Think a moment about where that $5 million might go and how it would benefit this city. And I'm only going to touch on a few of the items, which, believe me, the list is voluminous. We could help kickstart the purchase and construction of a new city hall. Many of you may not realize, although those in business probably do, we pay out over $500,000 a year just in rent money. The highway overcrossing that's planned between Stork, Glen Annie, and Cathedral Oaks roads, been on the planning books for an awfully long time. We're moving forward, but we don't have the money today to construct that very needed project for the safety of our community. And of course, I come back to Old Town and the redesigning of Hollister Avenue and being able to identify additional parking that's needed in that area so that we can have safety for our bicycle riders. The council remains committed to recapturing these funds, for which we receive no additional services for our residents and businesses. Continuing, on this slide, you can see where our dollars come from. Our revenue sources include sales tax, transient occupancy tax, known as TOT, property tax, and a category that's referred to fee income. Our revenue within these different streams has grown since we're coming out of the recession, with sales tax continuing to be the largest source of revenue, followed by TOT, thank you, Bacara, and property tax. In the slide, you'll see that in 2012, our other revenue looked higher than the following 2 years, and this was because we were able to allocate $1.3 million from the city's unassigned fund balances to the general fund. With these consistent revenues, we have been able to set aside funds for important projects and programs. Last year, the council allocated $500,000 annually for a permanent city hall. We added an additional $1 million to infrastructure, read roadways, restored our Sheriff's Department motor unit to full staffing, as well as the updating of the zoning code, which is well underway. We've been able to do all of this without ever touching our rainy day reserve funds. Remember, the state's just thinking about some reserve funds. We've had them for a long time. On the other side, we expect our expenses for fiscal year 2014 to 15 to remain stable. One item to note is the shortfall in our library funding, which has reduced personnel and open library hours. The Friends of the Goleta Library, bless them, and our library reserve funds have made up the shortfall so that services are not more substantially impacted. However, that is not sustainable, and we will be looking at how to best address that issue in the coming months. This year, we added a new tool to allow you to have an opportunity to look at the city's books. It's called Open Budget, and it's linked from our homepage and allows you to look at our income and expenditures in an easy, understandable format. For example, in this slide, you can see the expenses by department. It shows our capital improvement program as our largest expense. And if you slide the arrow to the left, which I'm not sure we can do on this slide, but in any case, you can review the data from the previous fiscal years to compare. We'll hope that you'll get to know your tax dollars are being spent by visiting our website and you would also concur we're spending them wisely. Now, this would all not be possible if it wasn't for our staff. This year, we grew to 50 full-time employees. We made a number of cutbacks during the recession, so we're bringing some people back online and adding to our projects and programs. This will help us to process those in a timely and an efficient manner. I would now like to take this opportunity to introduce our management team, and if they would all please rise, hold your applause. I will introduce them. Don't be bashful, rise. I will introduce them. Hold your applause to the end, and then we can properly recognize them. The City Council recently appointed our Deputy City Manager, Michelle Green, as our interim city manager. She has been with the city for nearly 10 years, and we have complete confidence in her abilities to lead us through this transition. Vito Adamitis is our Director of Public Safety and Neighborhood Services. He's been in the city since 2002 and has helped establish a safe and secure community. Jennifer Carmen, she is the newest director and has been with the city for 18 months as the Director of Planning and Environmental Review. She has extensive planning and experience, including the development of a zoning code and a housing element. 2 projects she's actively working on within the city of Goleta. Rosemarie Gaglione is our interim Public Works Director. She's been with the city for 7 years in the role of Capital Improvement Program Manager and Assistant City Engineer. She has done a tremendous job in getting our projects done on time and on budget. City Attorney Tim Giles has been with the city since 2008, and he is an invaluable resource and has successfully represented the city in numerous legal actions. John Herrera, who's just arrived in the last couple of weeks, is our interim finance director and brings with him over 25 years of municipal finance experience. Deborah Lopez is our city clerk and has worked in Goleta in various capacities since 2003. She is a wealth of information and keeps our meetings on track. Finally, as I said before, our public information officer, Valerie Grushanov, has been working with us for nearly 4 years and has brought our outreach and communications to the public to a whole new level. Now let's recognize this management team. Now there are others that I'd like to recognize because it can't all be done by management. It's done by an excellent staff. And all of the other staff members that are in here today, if you'd all please stand, hold your applause until I'm finished introducing them. Thank you. Economic Development Coordinator, Jaime Valdez. Advanced Planning Manager, Ann Wells. Capital Improvement Program Engineers, Teresa Lopes and James Winslow. Principal Civil Engineer, Marty Milan. Senior Management Analyst, Claudia Dado. Management Analyst, Luz Reyes Martin. Community Resources Deputy, David Valadez. David, are you out? I think you are. You're in our staff. You're with City Hall almost every day and out at the marketplace. And these are just a few of our dedicated staff. Let's properly recognize. Now, one of the most important things that has occurred over this last year, and we in the council essentially had nothing to do with it, was the development of a mission statement and the creation of core values. This was done by our employees. The mission statement says, our mission is to conduct the city's business in the most efficient, transparent, and professional way to support a vibrant and sustainable community. The core values that go along with that mission statement are responsive, efficient, and effective professional behavior, consistent application of procedures, values, and policies, continuous improvement and professional development, collaboration through teamwork, in support of a common goal, open, honest, direct, and timely communication, fostering high morale through camaraderie, respect, empowerment, and enjoyable workplace, and flexibility, innovation, and creativity. These values are evident throughout our organization, and we will look to fill the vacant positions mentioned earlier with those individuals who will share the same core values and work ethics. I'd now like to introduce Rosemary Gaglione, the Interim Public Works Director, and Jennifer Carmen, Director of Planning and Environmental Review. They will review the intersection of private development and capital improvement projects in Goleta, and thank you so very much. It is once again to be a pleasure here before you.
We're just waiting for our PowerPoint to come up. I'm Rosemary Gaglione. I'm the Interim Public Works Director.
And I'm Jennifer Carmen. I'm the Planning and Environmental Review Director for the city. So we so often right now hear questions and comments about development in Goleta. It's too much. It's too fast. What's happening? But as Mayor Bennett said in his speech, we are thriving. Development is thriving in this city. The growth you're seeing today is based on what was envisioned and planned for in our general plan. The general plan was adopted in 2006, and we're 8 years into that 20-year horizon. This is the general plan land use map. This is the basis for what you're seeing in this city. There's a lot of context to development within Goleta, and there's, just to talk about it, there's development that the city controls. That's city projects, capital improvements, things like parks and city hall, and private development within the city. New development, renovations, and expansions. There's also development that we do not control. UCSB, the County of Santa Barbara, and the Santa Barbara Municipal Airport. All of these entities affect the way Goleta functions. The traffic model the city uses was developed to assess future traffic conditions related to various land use assumptions considered as part of the general plan process, and captures development inside and outside city limits.
The city has an ambitious capital improvement program, as Mayor Bennett said. We have about 75 projects on the list with a value of just under $230 million. Staff is currently working on 32 projects with a construction value of $18 million. There's a lot of ways that projects get on the list, but one is being included in the general plan. So there were a number of projects that have been in the general plan all along. Some have been completed. The Cathedral Oaks Hollister Avenue interchange, which replaced the bridge at Winchester Canyon that was on that odd skew with a more direct route, creating two new intersections with Real and Hollister Avenue, was also a 2012 American Public Works Association Project of the Year. The overpass road extension to Hollister Avenue, taking overpass from Patterson to Hollister, and the Los Carneros Road Capacity Improvement Project, widening Los Carneros south of Hollister. There's also a number of street frontage improvement projects and intersection improvements. I'm just going to read off the list of these projects that are in process, and I'll speak to them in more detail later in the presentation. The replacement of the Los Carneros overhead, the Echo Fowler Road Extension Project, Hollister Avenue Old Town redesign improvements, the new 101 overcrossing near Elwood Station Road, Stork Road capacity improvements from Hollister to 101, and Stork Road capacity improvements from Whittier Drive to the southern city limit. Planned projects for the future are a new crossing of US 101 at La Patera Road, the Phelps Road connector, and adding a lane in each direction on US 101 west of Fairview. So how development projects relate to traffic impacts? The state has a law we refer to as AB 1600. It allows agencies to exact development fees on developments for their impact. And in the case of traffic, that would be an increase in traffic congestion. So development projects are required to mitigate their own impacts. There has to be a nexus between the traffic impacts and the fee paid. For example, we can't say, you know, you're really going to bog down this intersection, so why don't you build us a swimming pool on the other side of town? It has to be be related to the impact you create. Mitigations must be proportionate to the impact, and development can only be required to pay for their share of that impact. Ideally, the timing of the public improvement project should correlate with the beginning of the impacts of private development. Sometimes that timing is affected by the availability of funds, but the public improvements either must be in place at the time the impacts occur, or financial arrangements have to be made to complete the improvements.
So now we're going to talk about or review development activities and associated infrastructure improvements in 3 segments, starting with Eastern Goleta. So this is from east city limits to Fairview. First, we have the Goleta Valley College Hospital expansion. This is at the corner of Hollister and Patterson, as many of you know, and it's expected to open in early 2015. Next, we have the Samara Medical Building. This was approved in February of this year, and it's across from Goleta Valley Cottage Hospital on Patterson. It was approved, and its next step is Design Review Board. Harvest Hill. This is one of the first subdivisions we've done in Goleta in a while. This is a 7-lot residential subdivision located in the foothills at 880 Cambridge Drive, and it was approved in May, and its next step is Design Review Board. Old Town Village. This project is being proposed by City Ventures. That's the table I'm sitting at today. This is a mixed-use project on land formerly known as the Page site, and we are awaiting a complete application, and then we will start with environmental review. Old Town, sorry, there's the Old Town Industrial Center. This is approximately 190,000 square foot industrial complex and 891 South Kellogg, and this is currently anticipated. We have the initial application, and we're waiting for final submissions to move forward on this project.
And we have a number of capital improvement projects over on this side of town. We recently completed phase 1 of the San Jose Creek Capacity Improvement and Fish Passage Project. The portion Thank you. We're very excited about this. The portion completed goes from where the channel empties into the slough, about 4,000 feet up till about 200 feet south of the Hollister Avenue Bridge. This channel will now convey 105% of the 100-year storm. This is not a transportation improvement project, but it's hard to drive on flooded roads. Also, it's hard to invest money in roads that flood frequently. So this is really important. It also gives people an opportunity to feel comfortable investing in their businesses and in their homes, knowing that they won't be flooded out. The Patterson Avenue Sidewalk Infill Project. This is a project partially done with grant funding. On the west side of Patterson, from Debbie Lane to Hollister Avenue, was basically just an unpaved shoulder. And during rain events, it would become a mud hole. And then you have people avoiding walking in the mud and walking into the street, and we don't like to see that. So we're happy to have this project completed as well. Projects in design, of course, the Hollister Avenue Bridge replacement is phase 2 of the San Jose Creek project. And once that is completed, then the city can apply for the letter of map revision from FEMA, which will officially pull about 200 parcels out of the floodplain, saving a lot of insurance premium money and letting people rest a little better at night. Working on the Hollister Avenue crosswalk improvements in front of the Goleta Valley Community Center, we're installing a HAWK system that stands for High Intensity Activated Crosswalk. It's state-of-the-art. That is mostly being funded with federal grant money, which is allowing us to take some of those local monies and go down the road a little bit and do improvements at Hollister and Orange. And there we'll be installing rectangular rapid flashing beacons and repainting the crosswalks to get a more visible site. The Equal Fowler Road Extension Project will create Equal and Fowler roads from Kellogg Avenue to Fairview. So Fowler will go directly from Kellogg to Fairview, and Equal will go from Kellogg, then to Pine, and then to Fairview. Also will create dual-lane roundabouts at the ramps of 217. This will allow us to have the capacity that we're going to need to have without making Hollister a 6-lane avenue. And this is mostly being done with STIP money and some GTIP money. The Old Town Sidewalk Infill Project. We are looking to put sidewalks in the residential areas of Old Town to create safe walking paths for the residents.
All right, the next section of town we'll be looking at is from Stork Road to Fairview. Oh, sorry for the feedback there. Looking at our first project is Cabrillo Business Park. The future 935,000 square foot Cabrillo Business Park was approved with a specific plan that streamlines the establishment of individual business users on the site. The city saw the opening of Decker's headquarters and retail stores earlier this spring. The improvements along Hollister Avenue and Los Carneros are a direct result of the business park's development agreement. One of the components of the business park that is in process is the new InvestTech self-storage facility, and this project is currently under review. Willow Springs 2. These are apartments off of Los Carneros, the second phase of the Willow Springs project. Some of the units are already being occupied, but the full project is expected to be completed in July. Rincon Palms, a lot of you heard about this during the development process. This is a new hotel planned for the northeast corner of Hollister and Stork, and work is expected to start by the end of 2014. This project will have meeting rooms and a rooftop deck, which everyone's looking very forward to. The Islamic Center. This project was approved earlier this year at the corner of Los Carneros and Calle Real, and we expect to see building start in 2015. The Marriott Residence Inn. This project is currently under review. It's a 118-room hotel located at the corner of Hollister and Robin Hill Road, and we expect this to appear before Planning Commission this summer. Village at Los Carneros, one of our larger residential projects that is currently going forward under review. It is 465 residential units, a mix of single-family and multifamily housing, and it's on schedule to appear before the Planning Commission next month. Cortona Apartments, 176 rental apartments that is planned for 6830 Cortona, which is off Hollister in the Research Park on the corner of Hollister and Los Carneros. And Target. Everyone's waiting for Target. This application is complete. We are waiting for Target to initiate environmental review, and we will expedite this project as soon as they come in with a check. Willow Springs North. This is phase 3 of the Willow Springs project. It will have 360 apartment units, with nearly over a third of those units will be senior housing.
Well, a lot going on in capital projects in this area. I forgot to mention that San Jose Creek also won American Public Works Association Project of the Year award this year. Completed projects, we did the Los Carneros Calle Real Roundabout, which was the American Public Works Association Project of the Year last year. Crosswalk improvements at Cathedral Oaks and Santa Margarita. What we did there was we had a four travel lane road on an arterial in a semi-rural area. We were able to reduce the road from 4 lanes to 2 at the intersection, created some curb extensions, a pedestrian refuge spot in the median, and we installed rectangular rapid flashing beacons at the location, which makes the crosswalk highly visible. Those rectangular rapid flashing beacons are a strobe type of light, similar to what's on emergency vehicles, so they're very random and they're hard to get used to, which is what you really want in this application. Los Carneros Discovery Drive intersection improvements and Los Carneros widening from Hollister to the city limits, which was already mentioned as part of the Cabrillo project. Hollister Avenue frontage improvements as part of the Cabrillo project, and the improvements at the Coromar intersection. Hollister Avenue and Los Carneros intersection improvements and right turn lanes and changes to the traffic signals to accommodate that. Camino Vista roadway improvements and the widening of Los Carneros at Calle Coro. And that extra lane sort of ends now, but as we then move on and complete the Los Carneros overhead bridge replacement, that lane will pick up and continue on toward the ramp. That bridge replacement is mostly being done with Highway Bridge Program money, and it will take about 2 years. We're going to replace it 1/2 at a time. The Las Vegas-San Pedro Creek Culvert Replacement Project, the county and Caltrans are actually in the lead on this project, but it is a team effort. This is going to increase the stormwater capacity of those culverts, and change them to bridges, and increase that from a 10 to 25-year storm, which actually will take 70% of the 100-year storm flow. So it will be a welcome improvement for those folks living north of Highway 1 in that area. the Los Carneros Way realignment and the southbound on-ramp widening at Los Carneros. The Stowe Canyon Road sidewalk infill, another one of our grant-funded projects where on a school route we have found there's a section of Stowe Road that doesn't have sidewalk. So we're going ahead and filling that in, so if you want to walk on the sidewalk, you don't have to cross the street a couple of times to do that.
So now we're looking at Stork Road to our west city limits. The first project that's completed is the Bluffs, 62 single-family residences at the west end of Hollister. The Hideaway, currently under construction on the north side of Hollister Avenue across from Sandpiper Golf Course. This broke ground in October of 2013, and the lottery for the affordable units is expected to start taking applications next month, and more information will be available on our website. Hollister Village, formerly known as West Star. This is on the north side of Hollister Avenue across from Camino Real Marketplace. They broke ground also in October of 2013, and they're currently under construction. Ice in Paradise. This project is approved and expected to break ground this August. 2 ice rinks, rec facilities for the entire community. Citrus Village. This project was approved a couple months ago at 7388 Calle Real. We're looking at 10 residential condominiums on a 1-acre site, and earliest construction would be later this summer and early fall. Taco Bell. This project is currently under review. It's located at the corner in University Village at 7127 Hollister Avenue, and we do expect this to appear before Planning Commission sometime late summer, early fall. Shelby. This is a 60-unit single-family residential project at 7400 Cathedral Oaks Road next to the Glen Annie Golf Course. And this project is moving forward with its environmental. You might have seen notices out in the press. Kenwood Village. This is also under review. This is also a 60-unit residential project with mixed types of units, single-family residential, duplexes, and triplexes at 7300 Calle Real between Baker Lane and Elwood Station Road. And the Fuel Depot and Car Wash. This is located at Zizzo's Coffee and the car wash that's currently there. This will be a complete redevelopment of the site at 370 Stark Road, and this project is currently under review.
And more capital projects in this section of town. The Hollister Avenue frontage improvements were completed. Those are in front of the Hideaway. Projects in process. We have the Highway 101 overpass project. We've done a feasibility study. We're in the project approval and environmental document phase. That's the overpass that will go from in the area of Elwood Station Road, crossing the railroad and 101. It will take some of the traffic congestion off of the Stork interchange. It will provide bike lanes and sidewalks so that people don't have to go through that. It'll be a much more pleasant way to cross over when you don't need to get onto the highway. Hollister Stork to Marketplace. Part of that is being done as part of the West Star project, and part of that is a city project, taking the right turn lane from Stork and carrying that all the way through to Marketplace. And the Stork widening, Phelps to city limits, that section that is still a 2-lane road will become a 4-lane road. And the Stork 101 southbound ramp improvements to have two right turn lanes to the southbound on-ramp. The Hollister Class 1 bike lane project is really exciting. We'll install a Class 1 bike lane on the south side of Hollister from Pacific Oaks to Elwood Elementary School. As part of that, we are going to signalize Cannon Green Drive. We are very close to having the public workshops to show people what we've been doing. It was thought that we would have to reduce that road to 2 lanes to fit the Class 1 bike path, but we got out our road stretcher. And we're able to keep the 4 lanes in and the center turn lane and still have a Class 1 facility. So just wrapping it up, the growth that everyone is seeing now was always planned for. This is not new, and this growth was anticipated by the general plan. And development has been paying and will continue to pay for their fair share of infrastructure improvements that are necessary to mitigate traffic impacts.
So for more information on our capital improvement projects, you can visit www.projectgoleta.com. And to receive email and text notifications on city initiatives, projects, and other topics, please visit www.cityofgoleta.org. Thank you very much.
What a great job. Thank you so much for presenting that very in-depth review. As you can see, things are happening in Goleta. I want to make a particular note about housing. Housing our workforce has remained in the top 3 barriers to business that our members report to us at the Chamber. So I want to happily point out the progress that the city is making on so many projects, including housing. We advocated for the 22 housing units that are planned for in our 20-year planning period of the general plan. That included a carefully studied mix of apartments, condominiums, single-family homes, and executive housing. These are infill projects that fill unique needs in our community, and we are just so excited to see that really happening. So, speaking of thriving, we now have the opportunity to share with you an update on the Goleta Entrepreneurial Magnet, or GEM.
Well, Goleta is a great place to do business, especially for startups. There's a lot of entrepreneurs and successful startups in the region, and there's a lot of big business that are supportive of startups. And especially with the university here, there's a lot of research that comes out of the university that is looking for a place to go. The Goleta Entrepreneurial Magnet, or GEM for short, is a business incubator supporting startup businesses in the Goleta Valley. We're a collaboration of UCSB, the City of Goleta, and the Goleta Valley Chamber of Commerce. There was a need for supporting small businesses that either came out of the university or even the city colleges in town, or just out of somebody's garage, giving them a place to work, an opportunity to interact with other startups and other young companies, and also the ability to meet with mentors, advisors, specialists in the areas.
The idea for Next Mover came to me when I was working at Appfolio, another Goleta tech company in town, and I was sitting at my desk and listening to a friend of mine who had a huge pain moving into his new home. And I'm an entrepreneur, and anytime I hear a problem like that, I think about, well, how can I solve this pain? And right before startup weekend, a business model clicked, and it became Next Mover. And we're your friend with a truck. The next time you need to move, we'll connect you with a local member in your community who owns a truck and wants to help you for a small fee. Our website's really easy to use. You go to nextmover.co, and you can log in with your Facebook account, or you can create a unique account with your email address and a password. And then you're taken to our marketplace. And in our marketplace, we've got a lot of local truck owners that you can choose from. They set their own rates. You can get anything from an hourly rate to a one-time local delivery. And you just click on the one that looks the best to you, book your move, and enter your details, point A to point B, the type of thing that you need moved. And the local truck owner will show up at the right place at the right time. It's just a great environment, and I can't speak enough about the community here at GEM, not just in Goleta, but inside GEM. All the other students that are coming from UCSB and starting their companies, to more experienced entrepreneurs like myself, who are all trying to build scalable companies together. I constantly have access to that resource, which is all these entrepreneurs who've been there before, they've experienced what you've gone through, and their advice and mentorship is just invaluable.
It really started from when I was actually pregnant with my second child, and I went to get the ultrasound that everyone gets at 17 weeks or so, and talked to the perinatologist there, and we started getting into a really technical conversation. And he told me about all the current technologies they use in OBGYN practices, and some of them were just so arcane. And this specific one called a Klein-Hauer-Becky test, it hasn't changed since the 1960s. It's only performed on patients that have gotten into car accidents or something, to see how much the placenta has erupted. And the more the placenta has erupted, the more blood you lose. And the more blood you lose, the higher chance there is to get mental retardation or cerebral palsy in the kids. So that really hit close to home, because here I am pregnant with my child. Right now the way they run it is there's a human in there physically counting cells, physically doing this assay. It should be easy to build a piece of technology that can actually do it handheld, where you just take a sample from a woman, look at their blood, and automatically find out whether they have this fetal-internal hemorrhaging or not.
We got involved with the new venture competition, got involved with the network of mentors in the Santa Barbara community who gave us a lot of feedback on our business plan. They helped us understand where we needed to address concerns about the market so that we could create a successful pitch. We started off with developing a design concept through conversations amongst the founders, and then we modeled a device using CAD software and 3D printed our mock-up device. This is a similar form factor to which we'd like our ultimate diagnostic product to be. With GEM getting off the ground, it's a really exciting opportunity for us to be able to work with other entrepreneurs, bounce ideas off of each other. We have access to office space, desk space, wireless internet, and printing services. It's sort of the scalability that an entrepreneur needs without having to signing their life away on a contract, so to speak, which is difficult for an entrepreneur in the early stages. So having this resource is great.
To get into GEM, you have to, as I say, apply. We're looking for science and technology startups, and we have a membership committee that reviews everybody's applications and allows it in. We've only got limited amount of space, and really what we are is an economic development engine. One of the things that, as we continue to grow, that we'll be offering is, even though GEM is a membership only and key towards science and technology startups, we'll be offering our facilities to the public at large.
From the Chamber. And Valerie Cushmore from the city. They did an extraordinary job. Thank you so much. Also on your tables are postcards from the Goleta Valley Historical Society, stewards of Rancho La Patera and Stokehouse. That is part of the commemorating the Goodland program that they did. You are welcome to take those with you. Don't forget to take a plant. And with that, I will conclude and have a wonderful day. Thank you.